Khmer Rouge is a French word, which is has a French language has Frankish roots. I don't know if there's any connection there, but the Cambodians speak French, don't they?
Yes.
I may be making a leap. I'm making a leap. But I maybe not so much of a leap, because Western European culture really is an oppressive, elitist, racist kind of a culture. I mean, it's got its great moments. Mozart, and I mean, I'm not trying to denigrate. We're not trying to denigrate here Western culture as a whole. We're not trying to do that, because Western culture has evolved and has become one of the great cultures of the earth. But in its Frankish, at its worst, in its Frankish form, it's really dark and...
Yeah, but all the evils that people think about Western culture, the racism, the idea of superiority, the class structure, the
class structure of elite and subjugated.
Subjugate. All of this has its roots in the Frankish occupation of the Western Roman Empire.
Michael's correct, and also another aspect of this is, and it's very scary. You speak of the Dark Ages. I mean, when you utilize something as strong and powerful as the name of God to implement these policies, it's very far-reaching in the sense that you eliminate the knowledgeable people, the intellectual people of your society. The Romans at the time pushed out, subjugated in these feudalistic societies, little villages called, and they were called villains. And then basically the lower class people, the people who weren't as intellectually advanced, basically are scared out of their wits to believe that God is going to damn them for all eternity if they don't basically do what's being dictated to them by the bishops or the military rulers of the time. It's very scary and could have that effect of the Dark Ages, and I think the issue becomes human freedom as opposed to, which culture is better or not. I think that's really a whole other discussion, but it's really the human freedom that's at stake.
We can say some cultures are better than
absolutely.
others. I don't think
but
that's not being a racist.
No, not at all, not at all.
Maybe a culturalist,
right.
but go ahead.
But I'm just saying the point at hand here is basically also to a large degree human freedom. And we speak so much of that today that it's basically shunned, it's never discussed, that the Dark Ages were basically a dark age for the human soul. And basically, you mentioned earlier the therapeutic process was taken away from the face of this earth.
Pontius Pilate, getting back to a biblical example, Pontius Pilate, in all likelihood spoke Greek, as most of the Roman officials, because the language of culture in that part of the world was Greek.
More in all the civilized world, in the ecumenes, they would say. Greek was the
which, it's like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman philosopher, he wrote in the Greek language. He didn't write in the Latin language. And, of course there were Latin-speaking people like Seneca and others that wrote in the Latin language, but Greek became the universal language. It became like English is today.
Right, throughout the world.
Yeah.
Since, we focus a lot of times on the pessimism of the issue, but I think one interesting note prior to us ending the show is also to just state, and I hope I'm correct in this, but despite all this, there's still a continuity, and the continuity of what it means to be Roman, I think, still exists today.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that we may not be able to tell who the Franks are today.
It's very difficult to tell which either is, but
there are some Romans left in the world today, and they would be?
Well, I think, I would hope at least that, what it means to be Roman still survives within the Orthodox Church.
The Orthodox Church. So it's not a racial or ethnic.
Not at all.
It's an idea, it's a culture, it's a religion, it's a way of life. Right. It's to be Roman is not to be wearing a toga and have Latin blood.
It's the ideals that the Roman Empire stood for, the idea of a Christian empire, a Christian worldview, a Christian nation.
Of whatever color, whatever race.
National identity, ethnic identity.
Whatever ethnic identity it may be. And that this was the salvation of this empire would be the Orthodox Christian, or really the Christian Church.
The Christian Church.
Which was the institution of the most important institution within that nation. Yeah. And it survives in the Roman patriarchates that are still left.
In Constantinople and other areas.
Constantinople, Antioch, Jerusalem, and Alexandria are still, or really what is left, the tiny bit that is left of the Roman Empire.
And to this day in those areas, in a lot of those areas, and specifically in Constantinople, where predominantly a Turkish Muslim population exists, they still refer to the Orthodox Christians predominantly who were Hellenic, who lived there prior as Romans,
Romans, as the Palestinian Orthodox, who are not Arabs. That's another thing that that blew me away. That the Palestinians are not really Arabs. They're really descendants of the Roman Christians, the Roman Orthodox Christians, who now have learned to speak Arabic over the centuries, and they call themselves Rum Orthodox.
Roman
to
Orthodox.
this day. So I think we're about ready to wrap up. This is Orthodox Christian Television. I want to thank Vasily
Thank you.
Vinyadis,
Thank you,
Michael
Father.
Halford. I'm Father Christodoulos. Orthodox Christian Television is on every Saturday at 7:30 and every Sunday at 3:30. Thank you for watching.
Se ne la